and welcome back to another video. Today we're doing my wedding nails. Here we are. Okay, if you've seen the last video, these are my courthouse wedding nails. Now we're moving on to my actual wedding nails. Go watch that video if you haven't seen it already. But here I am struggling to remove the charms that I very lightly, in my opinion, put on my nails, knowing that like a week and a half later I'd be popping them off. I like literally just top coated them with zombie top and I was like, yeah, this will be fine. I'll just like pop them off. It'll be so easy. Naturally, not the case. I'm surgically removing them from my hands, which, you know, I shouldn't be complaining because really what I've done here is I've reused my base from the last set because it was like a week and a half since I changed, or since I originally put on the first set of nails, this set of nails that I'm currently removing. So basically what, again, if you haven't watched that courthouse nail video, this is what's going on. I put on the courthouse nail videos a week and a half later. I knew I was removing them because I was going to be doing my wedding nails. So I set up the base to be the base that I wanted for my wedding nails. So then I could just file back the design and then start from there. Because I really didn't want to spend a trillion hours reapplying extensions, all that kind of stuff, when I had just done them, you know? Work harder, not smarter. No, work smarter, not harder. Great, good job, Rebecca. Anyways, so remove that last set, just getting started on the prep. Again, I did these nails like a week and a half ago. So light prep, just kind of getting off any of the dead skin, pushing back the cuticle. You know, I was likely not using much cuticle oil, so getting off the crusty bits. I thought that when it came to my wedding nails, I'd be super like, oh my God, they all have to be so perfect. But I was like, you know what? They're gonna be good, but like no need to like break my back trying to get them as perfect as possible. I still think they were perfect to me. But you know, I think as you get closer and closer to your wedding, things seem less important maybe than they once did. Because I know people say it all the time, but your wedding goes by in a flash. It was like a great, super fun party and we had an amazing time and we loved every minute of it. But it was here and then it was gone. Also, look at this filing. I'm not including much of it because I was literally, where are my hands supposed to be? I'm just kind of shaping things up, tapering things out a little bit, doing nothing too important, so. After all of that, we're then going around the nails and just smoothing everything with my little e-file bit here. What is this called? A sanding band. Just smoothing everything out, and then also just if there was any kind of ridge of color around the back cuticle area, getting rid of that. Nothing crazy, nothing exciting. This set is mostly just focusing on the design, which is what we're starting right now. So I'm just going in after wiping down my nails. This is the zombie base. I love a zombie base. Usually if I'm doing extensions, I'll go in with something thinner on top of the extension, but because I've just like roughed up the surface, I wanted to use something a little bit thicker so it would like even out the base a little bit, smooth things over. So that's exactly why I chose zombie base, because it is a bit of a thicker base coat. Then once I apply that to all 5 nails, I've cured them in the light and we're moving on. This is one of the Blanc de Bleu Bilderberry gels, which I love. I like debated 3 different colors and settled on this more like warm tone. There's a beautiful cooler toned pink that I thought I was gonna end up using that I actually had on in the that last set that was on my fingers, the courthouse set. But I opted for the warmer shade because I was doing, like, I'm doing a gold set. I know, random. I'm such a silver girl. I opted for gold for my wedding. Who is she? But yeah, doing 2 coats of that on all the nails and then giving them a buff over once I have finished that. To be honest, I think I actually did 3 coats on the thumb. I was watching back the footage and I was like, yeah, I just went over the thumb on multiple occasions. Whoops. And then we're moving right in with the airbrush. I'm going in with some cross stencils that I made. I'm not religious in any capacity, but I'm a big fan of religious iconography. Huge cross fan, so that's what my wedding nails are gonna be. We're going for kind of like a Vivienne Westwood type of vibe. My dress was a little bit Vivienne Westwood, like a mini corset dress. I wore pearls. So that's the vibe. Speaking of Vivienne Westwood, I forgot I totally bought a Vivienne Westwood bag for my wedding, which I used, and I haven't seen it since. Somewhere up in my cupboard. I should pull that out. It's really freaking cute. It's super, super small, but wow. I totally forgot it existed. Actually, it's probably with my wedding dress. Where is my wedding dress? A lot of unanswered questions. I'm gonna have to go home and try and find those things. They're probably just in a garment bag somewhere. I do need to take that though to the dry cleaners. Just cap it in that airbrush with some base coat. This is the Nail Thoughts Clear Builder Base. Just a thin layer of that. And then I'm using some of my McCart Rhinestone Gel, grabbing a few pearls and a few little gold beads and just plopping those on the nails. And like I said, like this set is relatively, I don't know, maybe I didn't say this already. This set is relatively simple. Like there's not, I didn't want to go too crazy for it. I mean, I did, but you know, I wanted to keep like the technique pretty mellow. I want to keep everything like fairly chill. Now, a lot of you are probably looking at these nails and being like, chill for your wedding? Chill would have been like a French tip. I know, chill for me, guys. There's nothing chill that exists in my life. I am the most unchill person. And then we're doing a pearl necklace because, you know, I just love those pearl necklace nails. So just laid a bit of gel down there, and then I'm basically just gonna pick up little tiny pearls, throw in the occasional gold bead, mix up the sizes. Did I mix up the sizes actually? No, I didn't. I'm a liar. I do like actually mixing up the sizes, so when I'm doing these pearl nails, I think they're really cute. Doing like a small pearl and then a slightly bigger pearl. Yeah, basically just laying these out in the gel, and then once you are kind of satisfied with where you have them, I'll kind of fuss around with them for a bit with my brush or like a tool, and then you can give them a flash cure just to make sure everything's locked and loaded. These guys are flat back, so you can totally do this type of style with like a caviar bead, but they do move around a lot more, so I prefer a flat back when I'm doing a little pearl necklace. So cute. And then you guys know I like to protect everything, so going over the top there with some more of that rhinestone gel. This will prevent the finish from wearing off. I know a lot of you asked me about how to keep the shine on your beads, on your silver, on your gold beads. Putting gel over top, some sort of hard gel or rhinestone gel, makes all the difference. That's all you gotta do. Now I'm just going over the nails that are done, i.e. the pinky, index, and middle, with some zombie top. So we love a zombie top. And I'm doing this because on the other two nails I'm gonna be using chrome, and so to avoid cross-contamination, I usually will wait to do the chrome last. You know, just to keep everything that's not supposed to be chromed, chromeless. And I'm just grabbed a dotting tool and I'm using a silver cat eye gel. I'm just drawing out a little heart. So doing the dots with the dotting tool makes your heart a little bit more even and helps with symmetry. So it's just making those little roundy points easier to navigate. After curing that first layer, I'm going in with a second layer of the cat eye gel, and then I'm going to use my little magnet and shift that around so it's super reflective. Then I'm going to pop that in the light for a cure, and then I'm going to go in with 2 coats of a red jelly nail polish. So this is like a glass nail polish see-through situation. And this will just make it look like it's got this super like red gemmy heart. Makes it really, really shifty and really, really beautiful. So just basically tracing the heart that I laid down underneath. And then when I'm satisfied with that and I've cured that, I'm going over the entire nail in the Gel Bottles All-in-One Clear Builder. I use this because when you wipe it down really thoroughly, it is chrome resistant. There are tons of products that are good for that. That's just the one I have and have been using. And now I'm going in with the Stellar Gel Black Gel Polish. This one actually works with chrome, but use whatever one you have. I will typically use this if I'm looking for more of a flat design, but I do love the cooourse, what is it, accessory bond in black for a more raised design. It was so funny, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I was one time doing a client's nails and I was doing chrome stars and I was looking at the gel, this black gel, as I cured it, and I was like, that looks like it's a non-white. And so I tried chrome on top and I was like, yeah, it is. And then I texted my friend Sarah, who owns Stellar Gel, and I was like, Sarah, I could kiss you like for making this gel non-wipe. And she's like, it's non-wipe? And I was like, yes, you literally just blessed my kit. That's incredible. She's like, I had no idea. I was like, amazing, that's perfect. I was like, give it a go. The black, the white, they're both non-wipe. It was awesome. So you can see the chrome applies really well to it. And then just using a little sponge to wipe away the excess. And then continuing some chrome designs on the thumb. This thumb, I took inspiration from the Nail Whisperer on Instagram. Dylan, I believe, is his name. He had a beautiful set that I was like, this vibe would be perfect for my thumb. And then once I'm done with that, I'll give it a full cure and pop some more chrome on top. And then give that a good wipe off before we jump into filing the edges of the nails I've just chromed. Obviously there's no chrome on the edge, but just to be sure. Last thing I want is my nails chipping before my wedding day. And then I'm going over that with the Young Nail Gloss Gel. This is my favorite gel for chrome. Not that you really need anything crazy for this chrome, it's pretty flat, but just to be sure, taking no risks. Just applying a layer of that before curing them both. And here we have it. Here are my finished wedding nails. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I will catch you in the next one.